A very good evening and welcome to... Count out loud, okay. A very good evening and welcome to the Glenavon Hotel in Cookstown in lovely Tyrone for the launch of the 2023 Bank of Ireland Dr McKenna Cup. The Dr McKenna Cup is a competition that's welcomed and embraced by all counties in preparation for the league and championship that lies ahead. We're delighted to say that with us tonight, representing our sponsors, Bank of Ireland, we have William Thompson, who is head of branches, and he's from the sponsors, Bank of Ireland, as indeed is Nuala McDade, who is a branch manager here in Cookstown. The draw will be made by William and the president of the Ulster Council, Kieran McLaughlin. Now I'll give you a brief summary of how the draw will take place. The Ulster Council have decided that where possible there won't be any potential repeat pairings come National League time, so they're going to try and keep the divisional teams apart where possible. There are 4 teams in Division 1 of the Allianz National Football League: Armagh, Donegal, Monaghan and Tyrone. And there are 4 teams in Division 3 of the Allianz National Football League. That's Antrim, Cavan, Down and Fermanagh. Whilst there is 1 team in Division 2, and that's Derry. As there are 9 teams, there will be 3 groups of 3 teams. So what happens first is that all 4 Division 1 teams are placed in the bowl. They are picked out and placed in pot A, B or C. So that's Group A, B or C, and 1 left over. Then the 4 Division 3 teams are placed in the bowl, and they again are picked out Group A, B or C, with 1 left over. So when that's complete, you'll have a team from Division 1, you'll have a team from Division 3, and they will be joined by Derry, and that will be the 3rd draw in the night, and they will go into pot A, B or C. So I think it's about time to get our draw underway, but before doing so, I'd like to say a very good evening to a great friend and a great follower of the GAA in Ulster and his native Fermanagh. He is, of course, the chairman of Fermanagh County Board. His name is Brian Armitage, and both himself and his wife Dibna are tuned our way in New Zealand. So a very good evening to you all. So give them a nice round of applause, folks, I think. So now if we could ask William and Kieran to join us for the draw. And in the bowl at the moment are the 4 Division 1 teams. So the first team out will be drawn by William, and he'll give it to Kieran, and that will go into Group 1. So the first team, is Monaghan, and they of course are defending champions, and they of course have a new manager in Vinnie Corey. Second out goes into pot 2. Tyrone go into pot 2, and they have had a huge 7 in a row between 2012 and 2019. And the last one out, Ardwaka is the last one. And we all remember the season that they had, so that's taken out and left aside for now. And all the 4 Division 3 teams go into the pot now. And joining Monaghan in pot 1, Down. Of course managed by Conor Laverty, who won an All-Ireland medal with his club Kilcoo earlier this year. Joining Tyrone, Fermanagh. And nice to have Ger with us tonight, old colleague from way back when. And in pot 3, joining Armagh, Cavan. They could potentially meet in the championship, but Antrim, of course, will have a lot to say about that. What happens now, guys, is that we have 2 teams left over. We have Antrim from Division 3, and we have Donegal from Division 1, and they are joined now by Derry. So the next 3 out will be joining Monaghan and Down. Donegal. Nice to see Paddy Carr with us tonight. New manager up there. Joining Tyrone and Fermanagh. Derry. What a season they have had gone by. Brilliant. Under Rory, and delighted to have Enda Muldoon with us tonight. And Antrim will join Armagh and Cavan. So a round of applause for the boys. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Now what happens here is, so as the semi-finals can be established, the winner from each group will qualify for the semi-final, plus the best runner-up over the 3 groups. And the semi-finals are down for decision either the 14th or 15th of January. And we will be talking to some of the guys here very, very shortly. Round 1 is Wednesday the 4th of January. Round 2, Sunday the 8th of January. Round 3 is the 11th of January. And the semi-finals down for the 14th or 15th. Now we would also remind people that you can actually go online and purchase tickets for the Bank of Ireland Dr McKenna Cup competition. So let's recap on the groups. So Group A is Monaghan, Down and Donegal. Group 2, Tyrone, Fermanagh and Derry. And Group 3 is Armagh, Cavan and Antrim. Of course, Cavan and Antrim met in the championship last time out. Don't forget that tickets can be purchased online, and people can get the tickets online, and it's great to be in a position to be able to once again attend games, because there have been times that that wasn't the case. So I think without further ado, we're going to meet, maybe it's Group 2, I think, that we're meeting. And representing Tyrone is Niall Morgan. Welcome, Niall, on board. Representing Fermanagh is Declan McCusker. And representing Antrim is Ryan Murray. So give them all a nice round of applause, please. By the way, the times and dates and fixtures will be picked up by the Ulster Council. Niall, first of all, if we can start with you. New season, looking forward to it, no doubt?
Yeah, well, this will be my 11th season now, so we're, of course, loving training up in Giveahy at this time of the year, as you can imagine. It's good to be back. Everybody wants to be playing football, so can't complain.
And I suppose Tyrone Championship Club football this year didn't fail to deliver again. It's very competitive, and that has to be good for management to look at new players, possibly?
Yeah, it's probably one of the most competitive championships about in Ireland in general. My club are playing intermediate this year, and it's right and competitive as well. So it definitely gives Brian and Fergal a good opportunity to look at new men in a competitive environment, and there's a few new faces up.
Sorry, I think Antrim shouldn't be in there at all. Ryan, my apologies. And your jersey looks great. But I think it's Brendan Rogers. Hi, there you are. Good to see you. Lovely stuff. Yeah. That's a fair start now, isn't it? Absolutely. Brendan, seeing as I've left you out so badly, you have to look back on this year as being phenomenal.
Yeah, look, it was definitely a good year, and to get some silverware at the end of it is always a plus. But like most years, it probably didn't finish the way we wanted to, so we've just something else to improve on for next year and try and go a wee bit further.
When you look back possibly at the Galway game, is there things you could have done different? How disappointing was it to lose that game?
Yeah, look, it was disappointing. I suppose we had periods of play where we could have been more productive on the scoreboard and we weren't. And I suppose when you have those opportunities and you look back on it and see that you missed your chances or didn't take the opportunities when they were there, it's disappointing. But that's the experience of being at that level and the fine margins it takes to win. So plenty of experiences to take away from it, but hopefully it won't define the group.
Now, competitive football at club level is phenomenal in Derry. I think Glen probably became the 8th, Derry team to win an Ulster Club Championship. So that has to be good for Rory and the guys going forward.
Oh yeah, getting experience at any level of football at the higher end and the latter stages of the season is what you want, and you want as many players playing at competitive high levels as possible, and the more people in Derry that can play at that, the better, and it can only do good for the underage, and what they strive for is going to be the best it can be, and you know it definitely brings an atmosphere to the county, and Glen are a very formidable team and they could definitely go all the way, so it's certainly good for day football, and look, it gives Rory plenty of options to look at other fellas in the meantime and try and grow a larger panel.
Well, we go now to Declan. It's a tough group, but it's what you would want, but perhaps ahead of your league campaign and the championship ahead as well.
Yeah, look at with the two, I suppose the last two winners of the Ulster Championship in the same group. Derry had a brilliant year last year, and Tyrone will be looking to bounce back. They're always very strong in the McKenna Cup, and I'm sure Roy will not hold back either, so we'll be well prepared come the start of the league after those two games. Well,
Kieran obviously well settled in now and has looked at the championship, and how is training going generally?
Sure, only out a week or two, but it's going alright.
Okay. And when you look ahead at the year, I mean, obviously your aim would be to get out of the division in the National Football League, and that's everybody's aim. But it's tough. It's a tough division, Division 3 this year. But that's your aim, surely. You were unlucky last year.
Yeah, it was very competitive last year. Chatting to some of the boys out there, it's the same. Division 2 and 3, you always see there's only a few points maybe between your promotion and relegation. So every game is massive, and with the Talton Cup there now, and you're looking maybe to get promoted and try and get into the All Ireland, and it means that your league maybe has a bit more of an incentive when you're looking to push on and try and achieve that.
Niall, there seems to be a belief in Tyrone that you go out to win every game. So I mean that's very obvious because you've had 6 or 7 in a row Dr McKenna Cups. So you really take the Dr McKenna Cup competition, as do all teams, but Tyrone seem to take it very, very seriously.
Yeah, well, I think that was, I suppose Mickey would always say there's no point in entering a competition if you don't want to win it. I think everybody took it serious whenever they were playing us, but they didn't seem to take it as serious playing each other for some reason. And it's a competition. It's playing football. That's why you pull on your county jersey. It's another chance to represent your county, and you want to give that your best every time you do. You're representing your club and say the full county, so you don't want to be letting people down. And I know after last year, we know ourselves that we probably did let our county down after such a good year the year before. So it gives us a good opportunity to try and put things right early on. And I'm not saying that we are going to, but it gives us a good opportunity to try.
Well, that's the very best of luck to you. That's Niall, Declan, and Brendan. Give them a round of applause. Thank you very much. Okay, the next group we call up is we'll go for Group A, and that's Monaghan, Down, and Donegal. And from Monaghan we have Conor McManus. From Down we have Donncha McAleenan and Caelan McGonigal from Donegal. Give them a round of applause. Thank you. 3 teams with 3 new managers, and Conor, back for another season. Loads of people will be delighted, even outside Monaghan.
Yeah, well, I'm here because the boys are training. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, back for another year at it. Owen, we'll see how the body responds, and we'll go again.
There seems to be a universal approval that Vinny and his backroom team are the team to lead you in 2023.
Yeah, well, look, it's Vinny needs no introduction to anybody in Ulster football or Monaghan football. He played for Monaghan for 17 or 18 years. He was with Seamus McEnany for 2 years as selector, so he was always going to manage Monaghan at some stage in his career. He's now our manager, and we're looking forward to getting into action with him and the boys.
Now, you are defending champions, so the McKenna Cup competition sponsored by Bank of Ireland is something that you dearly enjoy.
Yeah, well, listen, we hadn't won it for a number of years. It's a good competition to win early doors. It guarantees you nothing, as we showed last year. We won it last year, but things didn't go away thereafter. So, listen, it's a competition that all teams enter. They want to get game time into players. They want to try things out and ultimately get ready for the league, and it's a great competition for doing that.
Donncha, you have new management, of course, as well with Conor Laverty. Is it likely that, or unlikely that he might select himself?
Yes, Conor could well bring himself on maybe 20 minutes to go in the game, but as he showed, at the weekend, he's still as fit as anyone on the field. So yeah, fair play to him.
I mean, Conor's the same. I mean, Vinny's still playing with Clontibberet. So, what does it mean having played against somebody or played with somebody that's actually now your manager?
Well, there's massive respect for Conor within the county. What Cuckoo have achieved, the past decade. So there's a lot of respect about what he's brought to football, and just knowing him, through playing against him in the club scene, there'd be a lot of respect there. So yeah, we're just glad to have Conor on board, and we're looking forward to the season ahead.
Caolan, if we talk to you about your manager, I don't think Paddy will be talking out for Donegal now. The other 2 fellas will be. But
I would say he'll say himself he's been around the block a wee bit at this stage.
Again, it's a change of management for you, and it's a high-profile management backroom team, and apparently the vibes coming from the early sessions at least are very positive.
Yeah, of course. Paddy's there, and you have Aidan and Paddy Bradley as well, bringing their experience playing at the top level. So it's kind of a clean slate for every player in the county, and they have a new shot at it. So there's plenty of energy about the place, and everybody's happy to be back at it.
Michael Murphy brought a lot of pride, joy and honour to Donegal. Unfortunately, he's decided that that's it, and he's not around this year, so you just move on.
Yeah, of course. We were saying we haven't been about the place without him, so he's obviously going to be a massive loss for Donegal, but there's young players there now, and they're all keen to impress, so we have to just move on without him.
Well, Caolan, Donncha and Conor, thanks for joining us tonight. Well done, boys. Now, representing Armagh, we have Kieran O'Hanlon. Representing Antrim for the second time, Ryan Murray. And representing Cavan, we have Oisín Kiernan. Now, I think this is a little bit of a jigsaw because last year Cavan played Antrim in the championship, and this year Cavan will play either Antrim or Armagh. But it's all down to the Dr McKenna Cup. And Oisín, for you, Mickey Graham, of course, staying on. Good championship in Cavan this year, so a lot to look forward to again, particularly the start of the Bank of Ireland Championship, or Dr McKenna Cup.
Yeah, exactly. I suppose it's a great competition. Personally, I always enjoy it, and always enjoy it as a team to get going again and get back together. So we look forward like this year like no other.
And a lot of new players in, it appears, and a lot of new players showing quite well. Yeah,
exactly. New lads in and keen to show, and it's great to see it. It's very enjoyable at the moment, even time of year, but it is, and new lads in, and that's what we want to see too, driving the thing forward.
Of course, you're not long back as a result of your success with Castleran winning the Cavan Championship. That was a very interesting thing, because you got relegated last year, and the only way to do it is to bounce back, and you got a run in Ulster as well. Yeah,
exactly. It was tough last year being relegated, but I suppose the number one goal this year was getting back up to the senior ranks, and thankfully we did it. We obviously fell short at semi-final of the Ulster stage, which is a pity, but we have to move on. We're back to senior now, so we'll, I suppose, look forward to that, but it's not for a while yet.
Okay. Ryan, of course, you had Enda McGinley at the helm last year, and now you have Andy McEntee from the county of Meath in. And how is the chemistry so far?
Yeah, no, it's all going well so far. I suppose you've only had a short time together, I suppose, proper training on the pitch, and Andy's getting to know us and we're getting to know Andy's ways. So we know it's all going well so far. I suppose Andy had a chance to see the club football in Antrim, because he was brought in, well in advance of the club season kicking off. So at least that's been a positive, that he's been able to get out to see what he's dealing with, I suppose.
And do you think that he may bring a type of Meath persona to the Antrim setup?
Yeah, no, I suppose, so far getting to meet him, really great relationship with him, and he's really approachable as well. But I suppose until you do something wrong, then you'll find out maybe his Meath persona. But yeah, no, as I say, it's just training away at the minute and then enjoying the winter nights and getting ready for the competition football to kick off.
Yeah, that's just the first weekend of the new year. Kieran, a phenomenal year last year when you look back at it. Maybe a few disappointments along the way, but I would think progress made.
Yeah, definitely something to build on for this year. Maybe didn't end the season the way we wanted, but look, it's, as I say, it's something to build on and something to try and push on again for this year.
And when you look at the club championship this year, was it Kieran's thing to bring in as many new players as he can? And
yeah, look, there's definitely a good old squad there, but you definitely want the best players in the county playing for your inter-county squad. So adding to the squad's always something that Kieran would be looking to do, bring in fresh faces like.
And what does the competition, the Bank of Ireland Dr McKenna Cup, mean to you?
Yeah, as some of the boys have already said, it's great to get a couple of good tough games to get you prepared for the league, and that's the way we're going to use the competition, try and get some minutes in the legs.
All right, Kieran, Ryan and Aisling, thank you very much indeed. Well done, boys. Well, that about brings our formal get together to an end this evening. Can I remind you that those games start on Wednesday the 4th of January, round 2 on Sunday the 8th of January, Wednesday the 11th of January, and the semi-finals down for Saturday or Sunday the 14th or 15th. We'll recap before we finish on the groups, but first I would like to thank most sincerely William Thompson, who's the head of branches for our competition sponsors, Bank of Ireland, and also to Nuala McDade for joining us tonight. Nuala's the branch manager here in Cookstown, and also thanks to Kieran McLaughlin, who's president of the Ulster Council. The groups are as follows: in Group 1, Monaghan, Down and Donegal. Group 2, or Group B, is Tyrone, Fermanagh and Derry. And in Group 3, it's Armagh, Cavan and Antrim. So don't forget, you can go online and purchase tickets for all of these games. And thanks to everybody for joining us here in the Glenavon in Cookstown. We hope you enjoyed our broadcast, and we look forward to the games beginning. And of course, the first competition up will be the Bank of Ireland Dr McKenna Cup, followed by the Allianz Leagues, then followed by the Championship. So from everybody here in the Glenavon Hotel in Cookstown, a very good evening.